one time, early out of law school, I had a mentor, and I was young and emotional. And I remember I ended up crying during a review because, some other higher up partner had said something negative, and my mentor took me in their office and she's like, "Don't you ever cry. You can talk to me about it later, but don't you show them that you're weak." And some people might think that's not good advice. At the time, I didn't like hearing it, but looking back on it, I do think it was a positive thing to show me at that point, like to not show, that I could take criticism, even though it might upset me. I could at least take it, and then, I could cry when no one's looking. So.
Megan, I think that's interesting because I don't know, and Chris and Stephen, you might have a whole different take on this, but I think that comes with, I don't know if it's a woman thing or an age thing, but I had been told by former supervisors, I'll just say, I got told once, we all wear our big boy pants around here, Wendy, and so they expect me to put on my big boy pants. And I had the fortunate opportunity a little while after that to bring that back in a really positive way. And I said, the person was like asking me a question, and I'm like, well, you know what? I did what you said. I put my big boy pants on and took care of the problem. Or, I had a great woman that I worked with when I first started practicing, and I was in a panic because I thought that I might have screwed something up in a case, and she was like, I'm so careful of all these things, and I ran through this. It was a Sunday afternoon. I was in the office, and this woman was like, "No, you did not." She told me exactly what the email was to write to the partner to get the information I actually needed, and I remember this piece of advice. She said, "Whatever you do not say you're sorry, because that person sees that as a weakness." Mm-hmm. And I think that's really startling, as a young attorney, young female attorney. But again, I don't know if that's a gender thing, an age thing, or.
I don't know if I agree with that. I gotta tell you, when did it become so bad that we can't show emotion? When did it become okay for us not to say I'm sorry? I mean, I'm a bullheaded guy, right? I mean, I shoot first and ask questions later. I want to get the deal done. I mean, my reputation in the business is, it's not whether I can work with you, it's whether you're going to be able to work with me. Because in my opinion, as a broker, different on the carrier side and the client side, but as a broker, if you have revenue, you're protected. If you don't have revenue, we have nothing to talk about. Then we're an expense, right? I don't want to be an expense. And more importantly, I don't want anybody that works for me to be an expense. But I do think that sometimes we get so caught up, and I realize this in my other firms, that all we deal with are these corporate robots, that they think that they know everything about the corporation and everything about people, and they're they're judge, jury, and executioner on how people should act and shouldn't act. Well, who the hell gives them that right? And I think that we all need to be human, and we need to go back to some sense of civility, right? And we all have to understand we're all different, and we don't bring identical ideas to every decision. And I'm not hiring people because I want them to think and act like me. I want them to think, and I want them to be you. Be yourself, and let's figure out how we can build it together. So I don't know. I mean, I got to tell you, I'm torn. Like, I make mistakes. I'm a hothead. I scream at people. Sometimes it's warranted. Sometimes it's not. But if I'm wrong, I'm going to say, my bad. I'm sorry. I didn't mean that. But if I'm right, don't let it happen again. Right? And that's the challenge. And I think that we've been so focused on becoming politically correct, and nobody really says what they mean anymore. And
have you watched the news?
Yeah, but at the end of the day, we need to be more understanding and try to be more direct and more transparent. And I think it makes us all better.
I think that's great advice. And is that that is the typical or perfect advice that a mentor could give a mentee. I mean, and I think that's why everyone's a little different too. I think that advice might work for some and not for others, or some companies and not for other companies. So, I think it's a product of like reading where you are, who you're dealing with, and whether or not that that works under that specific environment.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say, Wendy, I don't know that I ever faced that. I have a beard now, and I've had that for a while now because I was.
No one's ever told me to grow a beard. Say that.
That was advice given to me like 3 years in. Like, you look like a college kid that, that doesn't belong here, and you're working with a bunch of tenured claims adjusters, so I grew a beard. I haven't lost it since. I started at Tower Hill, and I was asked my first day if I was the new intern, because there was an intern starting the same day. I was like, man, I'm close to 40, and I still. But I think I've been fortunate to work with a diverse group, and I mean, part of the reason that I'm at Tower Hill is because one of my prior leaders is the chief claims officer here, and she's a very influential leader. I highly respect her, so that's one of the reasons why I left a very secure position at USAA after so long.